Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today I'll be talking about the Midnight Suns, Captain America 4, and a plot leak for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now let's get started. According to that hashtag show, the Midnight Suns are coming to the MCU. In a recent article they wrote, "We can exclusively share that Marvel is working on a Midnight Suns movie, which is currently in early development. The roster will start off small and grow in future films as with any team-up film. It'll start with Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, Blade, Hannibal King, Hellstrom, Ghost Rider, and Scarlet Witch. Hannibal King and Hellstrom will be introduced in Blade and fleshed out further in the Midnight Suns, while Ghost Rider will be utilized in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness before continuing on in the Midnight Suns. While plot details are scarce as this is still in early development, we can exclusively share that Blackout will be the primary villain, with teases of Mephisto throughout. From what I'm hearing, Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are interested in having multiple Thanos-level threats within the MCU. Next, it's being rumored that Captain America 4 is one of the movies that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige are working on, which will see the return of Chris Evans' Captain America and will officially end his story. The rumors state that the movie will be focused on Cap going back in time to return the Infinity Stones to their correct locations and possibly even take on the Red Skull for the final time. But in my opinion, I think this would work much better as a Disney Plus show. Not only would it give them more time to add new, smaller one-off characters that we might never have seen otherwise in the MCU, or introduce characters that they hadn't been able to in the past due to rights issues or other problems, and set them up for bigger roles in future projects. But it could also even connect to something like Loki, and overall it'll give them more time to explore these events and give Cap a fitting ending. And lastly, we have a plot leak for Venom Let There Be Carnage. But like always, take it with a grain of salt as it's coming from 4chan. And while things on 4chan have been fully or partially right in the past, it's by no means confirmed. But here's your spoiler warning just in case it is right. Anyway, the leaker starts off by saying they show Cletus being walked to death row, but before they inject him, the guard gets dusted. Cletus threatens a female guard into letting him go, saying that he'll protect her from the other inmates. We then cut to the Life Foundation. Almost all the employees are dusted during transport of the remaining symbiotes, allowing them to escape. Out of prison, Cletus leaves the guard for dead. Then Cletus runs into one of the symbiotes and bonds to it. 5 years later, Eddie, Brock, and Annie, who had been dusted, get brought back. Later, Brock starts looking into what happened in the 5-year gap, and realizes that Cletus has a symbiote after he reads multiple reports of a red demon slaughtering people. Venom tells Brock that once a symbiote consumes blood, it bonds the symbiote to the user's DNA, so they now have to kill Cletus. Cletus realizes that Brock is coming for him and reaches out to his followers. The guard that Cletus left for dead in Ravencroft was actually Sandra Deal. She survived and became obsessed with finding Cletus. Eddie and Deal form a temporary truce but get jumped by the cult of Carnage. Eddie says he'll go quietly if they release Deal, but the worshippers kill her regardless. However, one of the symbiotes from the Life Foundation finds Deal and attaches to her, becoming Shriek. Carnage then absorbs the other symbiotes that were on Earth during the 5-year gap, and is able to rip the Venom symbiote off of Eddie Brock. Venom puts up a fight as Carnage attempts to absorb him, but at the last second Shriek shows up, and attacks Carnage, giving Venom enough time to go back to Brock. A battle ensues between Venom, Shriek, and Carnage. Venom rips through Shriek to grab Carnage, and bites Cletus Cassidy's head off, ripping the symbiote out of his body and absorbing it. The mid-credit scene shows that Annie is pregnant, and the post-credit scene shows Morbius. Tom Holland filmed scenes for the second and third act, but I don't know if the scenes will be in the film. Now this was quite an interesting idea, but there's no way most of this happens. The Cult of Carnage is the only thing that I could see even being a possibility, as it was teased in the trailer. But there's no way that the snap and people getting dusted, or Venom biting Cletus Cassidy's head off and absorbing Carnage will happen. Not to mention that this had no mention of Patrick Mulligan, aka Toxin, who we already saw in the trailer. And this version of Shriek is completely different from the one we saw in the trailer as well. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Are you excited to see the Midnight Suns in the MCU? What do you think of Captain America 4, and what did you think of this plot leak? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.